Hey everybody, how are you?
Hey,
Ble-
hey everybody.
Bless you.
How are you? I'm fine. I'm watching some videos.
Jackson says hi and that he's watching some videos.
I want to see some videos. Look.
Yeah, you need to watch your dreams and go to sleep,
Yeah, good.
right?
I get
You
time
need to
now.
watch your dreams. So I just came off
Yeah.
since I haven't
Alright,
been
I'm gonna put on Jackson on.
no finish that.
I gotta put on Jackson on.
I just came on since I haven't been on for a while, for a few days I should say. You know, I have to start being consistent again. Since school started, I've been a little over it, and I'm in the middle of fall cleaning, I guess you could say, pre-fall cleaning. So, yeah. So I just been, doing what I have to do around the house, taking Jackson to school, things like that. I hope everybody's doing great. Yeah. So I'm in the process of, I've been getting rid of a lot of stuff that I don't need, donating things of Jackson's that I don't need. Jackson,
I'm thinking.
I know you're singing, but you're loud. Yeah, so I've just been, you know, getting rid of stuff I don't need, getting rid of stuff Jackson doesn't need, donating toys and clothes.
I love you.
I love you. Yeah, trying to keep up. Also, my oldest was here from Florida this weekend, so I got to see him, which you know, I was,
Going out for
of
dog.
course, I was happy. I was happy for that, you know. Um, yeah, but kids will be kids no matter what age they get. So I'm just hoping, that he gets a little bit more mature. He's 24 years old, and, I just need him to get more mature because, he thinks people are, he's the type of kid that's, or
Hey.
young adult that is entitled, like a lot of these young adults these days, teenagers, that they're very much entitled and they think that, their parents and whoever's around them are basically obligated. Hi Pintor, welcome.
Hey, boy. Mommy doesn't have blankets.
Welcome in. So yeah, so a lot of these darn kids these days, or young adults, whatever, are very much, with that entitlement thing. And, I don't know why they want to be that way because, even though you do the things that you're supposed to do as a parent and you give them things, especially if they're doing things and you're trying to reward them, but they just like to take advantage of you and they get used to you doing things for them, and then it's like that's what you're supposed to do when you're only doing it out of the kindness of your heart. And if they're doing well in school or whatever, of course you're doing it to reward them. you know my mother just moved into a new place, and the owner of the house is like pretty strict. And my oldest son went to go visit her, and he was doing some things around the house, like being too loud and stuff like that. And These people don't know him. She literally just moved there last week. So these people don't know him. They don't even know her. They don't know that she's not, she's not about that she's a peaceful person. And that unfortunately, it's just him, 24 years old, not, knowing how life really is, you know. So he was, being loud and then he gets mad when my mom was trying to tell him, that he needed to calm down and stuff like that. And, that there's rules basically and that he needs to follow them. Right away, he'll say that he doesn't care and whatever, whatever. But I've never taught him that. And that's why a part of the reason why he doesn't live with me is because that's how he has been for years. He thinks that rules don't apply to him. And that's not okay. And I was the type that I said I would tell him, you don't want to go by the rules, then you need to find somewhere that you can do whatever you want or think that you can do whatever you want. But no matter what, I try to tell him, no matter where you go, there are rules. No matter what it is, whether it's having your own apartment, whether it's going to school, whether it's going to work, no matter what, there's rules. You know what? Hi, Kyrie. How are you? Yeah, so I've been teaching him for years that no matter what, you don't like it, but no matter where you go, there are rules that you must follow, you know? And he thinks he's the kind of person that thinks the rules don't apply to him. And I'm glad that, even though he's like that, thank goodness that he hasn't got, into any trouble or whatever, or things like that. Because people that don't like to follow rules or don't like to abide by any rules, usually, they find themselves in a bind. Thank goodness that so far he hasn't. But if he didn't think the way he does, I think that he would be much further in life. You know. But he's a hard-headed kid. He doesn't. He's a hard-headed young adult, I should say. Cause I don't know, is 24 really a kid anymore? I'm sorry. I'm washing my hands. But yeah. And closing the curtain that my son left open. So yeah. So 24 years old, no, you're not a kid anymore. It's time to grow up. You know what I'm saying? But welcome in, everybody. Yes, I do follow Christ. Thank you very much. God bless you. Please double tap the screen to like this live. I really appreciate it. That's how I am new on YouTube. So that is how you guys can support me for free by hitting that like button, double tapping your screen, whichever one's easier for you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Good night, Mr. Leprechaun. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're having a great night.
What? I did one thing.
So if it's your first time here, this is my son Jackson, the one you hear next to me.
Yeah, that's my son.
Yes, he's my son. He is 5 years old. He's my youngest boy out of 3. All right, watch it, puppy.
Give me
I am a boy. All right, sit down.
Give me kiss.
I am a boy mom. As you can see, mom of three boys is, my full channel name. Um, yeah, so this is really a space that I just like to talk about real life, what I go through with my family, relationship, my self growth, because I am on a fitness journey. I am trying to get healthy. I am in my early 40s, and I'm just trying to get healthy for not only for me but for my children, so I could be here a long time for them. So I can be here for a very long time for them. Um, yeah, and everything else in between is what I usually talk about. But of course, my children have been heavily on my mind lately because, all these kids have different personalities. And, although their father is in their life, they, the ins and outs, the days, the nights are mostly with me. So I'm the one has to deal with all the actual difficult situations. So, it takes a toll on me, honestly. So, hey, K Money. Hey, how are you? I saw that you were the first one in my comments today. But hello. Yeah, so, me being the main one always in and out. I mean, with them, and, sometimes it does take a toll.
Mommy, I bought to Waffle. I bought to Waffle.
So especially
Mommy,
so especially my oldest coming to visit. He left today, so he is back in Florida. He made it safely back home to Florida. So thank God for that. Everybody, please double tap the screen, hit the thumbs up, whichever one's easier for you. That's the best way to support my new channel. Yeah, I haven't seen you around, K Money. And I haven't been on for a few days, but I'm back. I'm trying to be consistent, coming on, you know, coming on more. So, my son, Jack, you hear Jackson's tablet. Of course, he has to have the volume so loud. I'm so sorry about that. But anyway, so yeah, so my son coming this weekend, and then my teenager, being a teenager, that kid. I don't know if it's him being a teenager or him, if you believe in astrological signs, of if him being a Libra is part of it. But he is another one that's also hard to deal with because you never know what that kid is thinking. He's not very emotional and he doesn't like to talk a lot. So it's like you never know what he's thinking. And then when you want him to do family things, tomorrow's not Friday, tomorrow's Thursday. I wish it was Friday, but no, tomorrow's Thursday, K Money. And I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. I play it by ear. What up, Jackson?
Gotta be quiet, right?
I'll see what happens.
You're older boys, right?
Last week I was lucky enough to get some free tickets to Wicked, the Broadway show, which it was very good. I loved it. You know, it was it had some humor. So it was real good. I'm in New York. So yeah, if you come to New York and you're into, Broadway shows or whatever, even if you're not, sometimes you don't know you like it until you actually try it, just like a food. But Wicked is definitely a show to see. I recommend it. It's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I definitely don't mind visiting New Orleans. New Orleans. New Orleans? New Orleans. I don't mind
Look at the color.
going to visit one day.
Look at the color.
Is it still very hot over there right now, or did it calm down? So it is still hot, or did it cool down? Hot. It's still hot over there. Yeah. I'd rather go like in, not in the summer, but like I wouldn't mind going like in April or something. You guys had some weird weather though this year, or earlier this year. It was snowing and everything over there. So you guys had some weird weather that last winter. Oh yeah, when's your birthday? Let's see, what are you?
Let me go lay down. Let me go lay down. What do we do? Yeah, I'm laying down with mommy. I'm laying down with mommy. But, yeah.
Okay.
But,
So you're a Libra. You're a Libra like my child.
that.
You're a Libra like my teen. October 17th, that's cool. You have any plans?
Hey, you wet. You wet it. It's wet.
It has to, yeah, because it's still a little wet from when I washed it. It didn't dry all the way. It'll dry though.
Dry? Of course. Look, we got.
It'll dry because the fan's on.
There's so many.
Okay, just lay back. Thank you. What's your plans for your birthday? And then I'll continue on my, what I was talking about.
One train is be here and then make them on me. One. Then make them on me one is B. And then beat them make them on me one.
I'm not going over there. I'm not going over there anytime soon. I'm sure you got somebody that'll take you. So yeah, so my son being here this weekend, and then my other son, just being him. Like I said, I don't know if it's him, being a teen, or the Libra in him or whatever, but that kid, it's like you never know what he's thinking, what he's feeling. So, it's hard to navigate being a mother with him. And my oldest, he's the opposite. You always know what he's feeling. He's not, he'll let you, he'll let you know what he's thinking. He's very open about his feelings. But the thing with him, like I said, very entitled and acts like people, owe him, or like I owe him. Like if I owe him, my mother owes him, my his dad owes him. Like, no, dude, you're 24 years old. Grow up, get stuff for yourself. That's not how it is. Whatever we did for you growing up and whatever we choose to do now is because we love you, not because we're obligated. We are not obligated anymore.
Look at the color.
you know when your kids are small,
Aw, it's a
you're there. You're their everything, their protector, their provider, their safe space. But as they grow, the dynamics change. Suddenly they're, making their own decisions. They want independence, but then at the same tyme, like my oldest, he has two jobs, but yet he'll still call us.
Of course, Baby Shark is his best buddy.
Yeah, yeah, I have to navigate all. That's why it's hard for me to come on at certain times because I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but that's why I decided to just get it in for a little while. So yeah, so he has two jobs, but yet he still calls us. Oh, can I borrow this? Oh, can I borrow that? And it's like, dude, you have two jobs. What the heck are you doing with your money? And it's not like he lives on his own. He doesn't even live on his own. He lives with, one of his father's friends, you know? So I don't understand what that kid is doing with his money. So he wants to have that independence, and my 17-year-old too. He tries to act like he's independent, but no, independent person doesn't call to ask their mother or before they come home from school, or did you cook today, or even when he's not at school yet, doesn't eat unless I say, oh, you want me to get you something to eat, or you want me to make you something to eat on the weekends, still relying on me to feed him. He doesn't just get up and do it himself anymore. He used to at least make himself breakfast. Now he's just lazy and won't even do anything until I make it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, well, I guess you're going to starve because what the hell? You're 17 years old.
I'm gonna go play my tablet. I'm gonna play my tablet. I'm, I'm playing Minecraft.
All right, K Money, later.
I'm playing Minecraft. I'm playing Minecraft, mommy. And you know play.
Yeah, I don't come online. Most of the time I come online is to talk about stuff, not to make a love connection. So sorry. Yeah. So I'm not here for love connection. So yeah, they want their independence, and sometimes that also means that they pull away from us, like my 17-year-old has been doing lately. Um, and for a mom who has sacrificed so much, um, you know, it can make a person feel a little bad. So I've talked about it before. I've had moments where I felt unseen, unheard, or even unappreciated. You know, I know that it's not that they don't love us. It's just that they want to do their own thing, and sometimes
Disney Junior.
they feel like we're overstepping. But as a mother, that's our job. We're always gonna be there for them to make sure that they're doing what they have to do. You know, we don't want them to fail, even though it's not up to us, and it is trial and error, and sometimes they are gonna fail at things, and they're gonna pick something else up, and You know, hopefully they'll strive at the next thing. But I'll still be there by their side, trying to help guide their every step, I should say. You know, let's be honest. Sometimes it does hurt. You pour your heart and soul into raising your kids, and then as they get older, the thank yous seem fewer, the phone calls get shorter, or the conversations feel like arguments. You know, the other day I wanted my 17-year-old to come, meet my oldest. And, at first he was like, all right, whatever. But then it's like, it was a Sunday. So I'm the type that I don't like to be out late on a Sunday, especially when there's, work the next day, school the next day. You don't want to be out late. And so it was like 4 o'clock. And yes, I wanted to go. And no, I'm sorry. I was meeting my son at 5. So that's a good time for a Sunday because then, you get to hang out, do whatever, and then you're home at a decent time. And he was okay with going. But then as soon as I was saying, like, I wanted to start getting ready, all of a sudden it was too early. I'm like, too early for who? We have things to do tomorrow. It's Sunday. And then all of a sudden he gets an attitude and he hasn't seen his brother in months. And you would think that, that's his brother. He would want to see him and, he would just stop with his funkiness, you know. But no, instead he got into he had an attitude and I had to tell him about himself. And because I told him about himself, then he decided not to go. And of course, that made his brother feel bad because his brother does love him. And, he missed him. He misses him, you know? But it's like Jordan. Jordan is my 17-year-old. It's like Jordan still, you know, for him, it's what he wants.
Mommy, help me.
Wait.
Can you help
Wait.
me, please? Can you help
I
me?
said wait. I said wait. I said wait. What's going on? Talk. No crying. Talk or I'm going to turn this off. Talk. No crying.
What happened to Minecraft?
What you mean what happened to it?
I can't play into Minecraft. Oh no. I can't.
Relax. Relax. You have to figure out what's going on. Oh, I don't know. You're in a mode that you're not supposed to be in because you touch too much.
Oops. What happened is going on?
Jackson, relax.
What is happening going on?
You heard what I said?
See,
Let's see. Like, he's likes to play Minecraft and then he's pressing buttons and like I'm supposed to know what to do. I don't even know what the hell he did. Let's see. Let's see what you did. I don't know, what did you do? What did you do?
I touched the game.
I don't know what you did. Start it over. I don't know what you did. Sorry. Let me just finish talking because, it's hard to keep this going when I have my 5-year-old here. So I'm really going to have to start doing this, earlier while he's not in school. I mean, while he's not in school, while he is in school. So, yeah, so then, my Jordan made Jediah. Jordan is my 17-year-old. Jediah is my 24-year-old. So Jordan made Jediah feel bad because then he didn't even come with us, because it was like it was either I was gonna leave at what
Eagle,
time.
that's a close one. That's a
Either
close
I
one.
was gonna leave at the time he wanted to, or he wasn't going. So, oh well, like, he really thinks that people, he's the one that's gonna have to learn also that that's not how life goes. P- Things are not always gonna happen when he wants it to, and he's in college now, so he really needs to understand that. But I landed up going to the dinner anyway, and I was happy to see my son, and Jackson was with us, so we did enjoy each other's company, you know. So but it's like, at what point do you not want to shake them up and say, that's not how life is, and it's not like you can actually force them to go. So I think that's kind of messed up that he didn't see his brother for months. His brother finally came back to New York for a little while, and he couldn't even go see him for a few hours. Like, come on, guy. Like, he's another one that's too damn entitled, and then had an attitude, and was in his room for like freaking what, like 2 days, just quiet, and thinking that's gonna hurt me. Like, he even didn't eat on Monday, like what I made for dinner and whatever. Like, oh well, you don't want to eat, that's up to you, then you starve, you know. Hey Raw, hey sis, hey mommy money getter. Yeah, so I'm just dealing with the difficulties of these raising these older children. you know they're so different, and I don't know, one is too emotional, one is emotionless. So it's like, it's so hard. It's very hard. It gets hard sometimes. My 24-year-old, he's a hard-headed kid that acts like he was raised in the ghetto. You would think that he had a ghetto parents and ghetto family that raised him the way he is, and nobody could tell him nothing. And these kids these days are just too entitled. Then my 17-year-old, he's just to himself to a point that it is a little bit worrisome, because all he does is go to school, come home, be in his room playing his game, but he doesn't like to interact with anybody. He doesn't go to friends' house anymore like he used to. He doesn't go pay.
Mommy, I make the colors.
Cool. He doesn't go play basketball like he used to. He just doesn't do anything. He's almost 18. Doesn't have a girlfriend, or nothing. Doesn't go,
I make a bill.
doesn't do anything. And I don't think that's good for him.
I make brew house. And then make brew house, make clubhouse, make the clubhouse. Then make them on me free. Mickey Mouse clubhouse.
Yeah, they're definitely a whole different breed. And I feel like to have social skills is very important, because you need those social skills not only to just deal with everyday life, but also when you start working and stuff, you need to be able to communicate with people and just have conversation with people. Especially if you get a career that you actually have to talk to people. How are you going to talk to people if you never learn to? You know? And him going to college, I hope he's more sociable there, because he's very into himself. And sometimes, I feel are you okay? Because you don't want to talk to nobody. Like, any little thing bothers him.
Mommy,
But the most thing is just that he's just to himself.
I know this term. And I need this.
You know? You know, MMG. So I'm trying to teach him that he needs to be sociable, and it does make me feel bad that he doesn't show emotions. Like I said, his brother came over the weekend. He wasn't even bothered with his brother. He couldn't even take a few hours out his day to hang out with his brother, that came from Florida. So, not only did that make me feel bad, but that made his brother feel bad too. you know you're not supposed to force them to do anything, but you know I just ugh, it's so frustrating. Yeah, definitely not for the damn week. It's not for the week, and it's not for the is it does get you, it does what it does take makes you get take on an emotional toll on you, because you didn't raise them like that. If I freaking have plenty of pictures of while I was raising them, they always had smiles on their face, always. My oldest, he's still a very outgoing person, and he's always smiling and stuff like this. But my teen, he's the opposite. He doesn't freaking he acts like he was raised the worst. He's never happy, you know I can't get him to smile, let alone lately. I can't even freaking take a picture of him without him having an attitude. I know a lot of kids don't like to take pictures, but it's like, god damn, yo, like, what the hell? You need to get the hell, like, get that shit out of you, because that's not the way to go. It's bad enough we already have a small family, and for you to be pushing everybody away like you don't care, that's not cool. you know like, stop the shit already. You grew up very fucking happy and very spoiled. Like, stop your stop your shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. So one of the hardest things I'm learning is, like, when to step back. How do I step back? That's very hard for me. Like, how can I just step back, without worrying about the way he is sociably, and even not for nothing psychologically. Like, you have to worry about that too. Yeah, and that's what I told him too. I was like, if you don't want to talk to me or anybody or any one of us, you need to make sure that you're getting, if you need to talk to somebody, make sure that you're searching for that person that you feel comfortable talking to. I do tell him that. I'm like, I tell him, because that's not okay, just being to yourself so much. Everybody needs at least one person that they feel like they can talk to, that they could just let out everything that they feel, you know? But I really can't see, like, what the problem could be. This kid gets everything he wants. I mean, I might be tough on him because I'm the one that's with him every single day, and I have to deal with all the bullshit. But everything, like, whatever that he wants or needs, his dad surely makes sure that he gets it. So it's not like he wants for anything or needs for anything you know so it's like, me as a adult, I see it as just being entitled. you know Hopefully he'll grow out of it. That's what I pray for every day, that he just grows out of it, and that we'll be a tight-knit family again. But it feels like, when you feel like you're losing your kid, it's sad. And especially they living with you. you know He'll come out, of course, when I cook and stuff like that. Other than that, he's in his room, in his room, in his room. Like, sometimes I'll be in the living room with Jackson, and he'll come sit down next to Jackson, and he'll start playing with him and stuff like that. So that's when I see him as you know, a normal kid or a normal person. But other than that, he's just locked in his room. Yeah, and he's about to be 18, so soon I mean, the counseling was never up to me cuz they have a right to deny the the help.
Derek,
But in
Derek,
a couple of weeks he'll be 18 and it'll be totally up to him.
give me
So
kiss.
that's why I
Give me
do
kiss.
try to talk to him and tell him that the way he is it is not okay, cuz if he feels like he doesn't care about anything, that's not good, and that can be happy for him. Like, is he happy? Like, but like I said, he doesn't want to talk
Give me
way,
kiss.
baby. So he doesn't want to talk about it with me. So, it- but I do tell him that I told him this weekend that
Mommy,
he
I'm
needs
playing
to
my
find
game.
somebody
I'm playing my
that he can
game.
talk to if he doesn't want to talk to me. I wish there's no reason why. I never judged him or anything. So
Why?
there's no reason why he shouldn't feel comfortable talking to me about things that he's feeling. But it is what it is. Some kids just don't want to talk to their parents. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
Mommy.
his dad tries to talk to him too, but like I said, he's not very talkative. And his favorite thing is nothing's wrong with him. You know? But how do you help somebody that doesn't want to be helped? That's the question. How do you help somebody that doesn't want to be helped? And it's so stupid. I mean, I know sometimes depression comes even, if you have everything you need and everything you want and happiness is all around you. Sometimes people just get into that state, but you know, I just hope now that he's going to college it changes. Maybe he'll get into a club or get
What's
into
here?
something, or even get a job or something. Watch it. Where's the remote? Cause why is that loud?
That is my turn. Help.
You're playing the game. The TV doesn't need to be that loud. And anyway, you need to lay down. Look at the time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, cause I came on late today cause everybody was on today. So I haven't been consistent. So I said I need to get some of my time in.
Be low.
So let me just go live, especially when you try to
Yeah, I'm
support
ready.
everybody, and I am a mod in a lot of chats. So you know try to stay supporting, but I do need to focus on me.
I'm drinking some water.
Good.
Do you want to drink together?
You could lay down and turn off the tablet and get ready for bed. Turn
Yeah.
off the light. Yeah, so I don't know. So, how do you help somebody that doesn't want to be helped, or says nothing is wrong? I try to be happy with him, and the only thing I get, like I said, these kids, like I said, that's why I feel is entitlement, because I don't ask for a lot. All I ask him, well, now that he enrolled in college, I expect him to be responsible, because I wasn't forcing him to go to college. I actually wanted him to go to like a trade school, so at least he could start, do the trade school and then start his career. But he chose to go to college, so I do expect him to be responsible, you know? So I haven't even bothered him about that because he's been fine with getting up and going and stuff like that. But we argued on Sunday, and he decided to not go to school on Monday. But then on Tuesday, I'm like, I got up and I'm like, you gonna get ready for school? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cause you ain't gonna be lazy in this house. Like, you got to do something. You chose to go to college, then be responsible and go to college. Go to your classes. And you chose to stay home. You could have easily just went away for college as well. So it can't be me cuz he didn't even want to go away for college. Usually when you want to run away from
Stop
your
whining.
you
Stop
know
whining.
uh
Don't.
stop. Shh, shh.
You're right.
Usually, when you want to run away from your parents, you go away to college, right? Hey, Lily. So it can be me because I told him to go away to college and he wanted to stay home. I'm just chatting about the struggles of dealing with teenagers and young adults, dealing with my young adult son and my teenage son and their different personalities. Jackson's okay. It's just that I'm trying to tell him that he can't be yelling, so of course he's crying like a little baby. All right, Ja, sit back. You ready to turn off the tablet?
No.
Then stop crying, cause I'm ready. Yeah, having teen boys are not easy, man. And then you would think that it's easy when they go to adulthood. Still not easy. At least for me, it isn't. You know, and it doesn't matter what you go through. It doesn't matter how you raise them because I try to steer them the right way, and no matter what, you know you've been there, you still do what you want to do, no matter what good advice you have, what no matter what good advice you get or have gotten in the past. Everybody's life is their own. But you know when I woke up this morning, because my oldest took a flight back to Florida today. When I woke up this morning, there was he had texted me that he's gonna miss me and that that he hopes to see me soon again. Because we didn't get to spend all 5 days that he was here together. Because he does have a life too, and he wanted to see his friends and whatever too. But anyway, um, but the message was, I love you, Mom. I'm going to see you soon. And I promise to make you proud. And I'm going to, because he is getting his GED right now. And he's like, and I promise I'm going to make you proud. And I'm going to go to college like Jordan, too. Like, so that's the first message I saw this morning when I looked at my phone. So that had me emotional too. Like, you know, sometimes no matter you think they don't care, you know, that showed me that he still does care, and that he is still trying to, you know, make me proud. Like, even though he's 24, he's still trying to do things to make his mom proud. So, that was nice. And I am proud of him because, like I said, he might not have his own place over there, but at least he has two jobs, and he's kind of independent because he chose, you know to go over there to live, and to get his jobs and everything. He's been there like what, 6 months already, and he's still working. So I am proud of him. But him going back to school and stuff is gonna make me even more proud of him. But not only, don't worry about making me proud, worry about making yourself proud as well. But that did make me feel emotional seeing that message this morning, you know.
How would? let's count to 100.
Yeah, I know.
And then
But
101
sometimes, all I mean, I
and 900
I
and
don't know.
99.
I guess sometimes they're just being kids too. And sometimes there isn't nothing wrong, and it is just you as a parent telling them what they don't want to do, and them just being kids, you know? So so I hope it's what I'm thinking. I hope that is not,
999. One
I hope that
down.
is nothing too, I hope it's nothing too serious. And I hope nothing's really wrong with him. But, you know,
Three.
I'm going to tell him again that, if he's feeling a certain way and that he needs to talk to somebody, I'm sure there's somebody to talk to in his school.
7,000, 8,000,
So he should find
9,000,
somebody to talk to, you know,
10,000,
or try to, or try to
11,000,
try to start that
12,000,
relationship with his dad, because his dad is in his life. So he should, maybe he could start talking to his dad about the way he's feeling, being that they're, both guys, and he doesn't know. Maybe his dad went through, whatever he's feeling, if it is a feeling that he's feeling, if that makes sense. But but also me as a mom, I have to take care of myself, especially that I have a 5-year-old. So I'm at the same time, I'm worried about them, but I'm still trying to be strong
It's not.
and being emotionally there for them and myself. You know,
Mommy, I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Mm,
I love you so much, boy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Because
16,
I came on
17,
late.
18, 19,
This
20.
kid would have been sleeping already, but because I came on late, he's not sleeping. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna be wrapping it up soon. But, you know, if anybody
Good night,
listens to
Mommy.
this or has any advice or, you know,
I'm so hungry.
or has went through this, has anything to say, let me know in the comments. I know it's not easy, and I'm confident that, we'll get over this obstacle right now, or this tough course, I should say, you know. But I will, like I said, I'll, tell him. I will talk to him and tell him, if he's feeling a certain way, to find somebody to talk to, because everybody needs somebody to talk to,
Mommy,
you
I
know.
love you. Will you give me a kiss, please?
But also they need to realize that, especially like my thing is, just be responsible. You chose to sign up to go to college, just make sure you go to your classes, and do your work, do your homework. You don't want to, all these grants that you received, you don't want them to go to waste. And that's what some of these kids, they don't realize, that if they take out these grants and they receive these grants, but then they keep, like if they fail the courses and that they keep reapplying, eventually those grants are gonna run out. And then when they're actually ready to finish college, that they're gonna have to pay out of pocket. So that's something that a lot of kids don't know either. They think that they could just, drop out or whatever and then just reapply the next semester, not realizing that the resources do dry up eventually. But, so far so good. So I'm not going to be all negative about that part, because he is going, it's only the third week of school. But, but so far so good with that. But another thing is like cleaning his room. He's very lazy, but then he has a problem with me going in there too to clean it. Like, come on, guy. You can't you can't be like that. It's either you stop being lazy and you clean your room, or I'm going to have to go in there and clean it for you, because we cannot live like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't really think it's something wrong with him emotionally. I just think that he's too entitled and he wants things his way, and that's it. You know, which I wish he would have. I wish he would have gone away to college just so he could maybe get a little bit more responsible. But I'm not gonna force him out either. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I'm just gonna pray. I am gonna pray, and I do. Like I said, I try to be. You get mad at them that day. That day, I don't try to let it I don't let it linger on for days. Like I'm mad at him that day, but then the next. Not even the whole day. Whatever. I'm still gonna feed him. I'm still gonna talk to him when he comes out his room. Like I'm not gonna you know, push him away, basically. I still want him to know that no matter what, even though he's a big fart, I still love him and I'm still here for him. We all we got. You know what I'm saying? We are all we got. We have a small family and we are literally all we got. So, you know what? Sometimes you don't like your family, but I love, you know? Sometimes I don't like them, but I love them always. So, I guess you just got to learn the boundaries you know, and that it's not going to always be easy, you know. Some kids are easy to raise and they just happy go lucky and do everything, on time. And then some make you go through an obstacle course. But I guess as long as you show them that you love them and that you don't give up on them, you know, it'll, it's worth it. It's worth it. you know. I didn't give up on him going to school, and I mean, high school wasn't a breeze for me either with him, but me not giving up on him, and I stayed on his butt and pushed him, and he got that diploma, and then he chose to sign up for college. So obviously I'm doing something right, you know.
Oh no, he breaks 17. He breaks 16.
So I'm just learning to, try not to. I'm learning to not, try not to be in his face as much because, he's not the type of kid that wants you to be in his face. But I'm still there, just I'm there enough to let him know that I'm still there for him and that if he needs me, I'm there. And that, you know, I love him. And I just want to see him, and that I want to see him do good and succeed. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much, you know. So I'm just learning sometimes I just have to be steady in the background, letting them know that I'm here when you're ready without forcing the relationship, you know. So and just letting him know that he's not alone and that I'm always here for him. So, you know. So if anybody, like I said, has been through this or going through this, let me know in the comments. And just know that you're not alone. Many of us are struggling with adult children or teen children. It doesn't it doesn't mean that we're a bad parent. It just means that the relationship is evolving. And I guess evolution is never easy, right? But I do pray. Sorry for those of you that don't, but I do pray and I do believe that the best is yet to come. So I definitely never give up on my children. Like I said, you might not like them sometimes, but you love them always. And I will always love my kids, and I will always be I will always be there when they need me. When I think all of us feel the same way about our children. We won't let them walk all over us, but we are going to be there when they need us. And if they want to talk to us, we're going to be there with open arms.
Mommy, what is you?
So, yeah. So thank you all for being part of this conversation tonight. It's not easy for me to talk about it, and sometimes I do get a little bit embarrassed because I see other people's relationships with their children so good, and I do, you know, it does make me emotional because I'll be like, why, why, why me? No, but I'm not gonna let that overcome me either. You know. It's not easy to admit when family relationships feel strained, but I believe talking about it helps take away the shame and lets us know that we're not alone. So, if you enjoyed this live, please hit the like button and subscribe so we can keep building this community. Please help me build this community. Like, hit the like button, subscribe. And like I said, if you're struggling right now with your kids, remember your love is not wasted, even if it doesn't look like it in the moment. So thank you guys for spending some time with me. I have to get back being consistent, so I will be back this week. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. um yeah, I have stood on my consistent walks every day. I still been walking every day, so at least that is something that I'm still doing for myself. Tomorrow I do go see the doctor, so let's see where I'm at. Well, I'm sure I'm not gonna get the results right away because I do want them to take blood tests. Since I took blood tests 3 months ago, I want to see what the difference is since I've been trying to stay more active, and hopefully they tell me I lost a few pounds. You know what I'm saying? But we will see. I'll keep you guys updated, you know. So I'll see you in the next live. Take care of yourselves, and keep showing up, not only for your children, but for you, even when it's hard. All right. Thank you. Good night, MMG. Thank you, everybody. I will see you guys in the next one.
Mommy, I love you.
Thank you, MMG. You see Jackson, or he tells me he loves me 100 times a day.
I see Miss Rendas in the morning.
Oh yeah, you see Miss Rentas? Yes. That's his teacher. All right, say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We see you tomorrow.
All right, watch it.
Is it too big?